Hey guys, we're loading up, huh?
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see everybody. Hi. Hi, some new faces, some regular faces. So exciting. Okay. People are loading it. It's like I get excited and nervous. Like I'm afraid, like, I don't know. Like, and it just keeps happening. It's like the best and like frustrating part. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. Hold on. There's more coming. I love it. Like, keep ringing those bells. Keep ringing those bells. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm technologically challenged. So your patience with me is very, very appreciated. Okay. So, and just as a reminder, this is being recorded, you guys. So, hopefully that's not a surprise to you. It will be on the YouTube as a replay. But I just want to remind you guys. So if you're uncomfortable with being seen or heard, you can take your face off. Not really take your face off. Take your face off. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, you can try taking your face off. That just probably would not be very pleasant at all. It's not something I suggest. Okay, we still have more. So let's see. I just want to make sure we get in folks as we kind of like, I don't want to miss anybody. So, okay, so I'm going to mute everybody. Please don't take that personal at all, except I want to make sure I don't mute Pete. So hold on one second, you guys. Mute all, mute all, mute all. And then I'm asking you to unmute Pete. Cool. Okay.
Good.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So hello, everybody. Welcome to Soul Connection Sunday. I am so grateful to have you here and also extremely honored and grateful to have our featured guest, Pete Martochi. I've had a lovely few opportunities now to get to know Pete. And he's good people, he's real people. I'm really picky about who I refer, suggest, anything to. I'm sort of like a metaphysical, esoteric snob, I guess you can say. That's either good or bad, I don't know. But I met Pete through Christian Bradley West, who I interviewed for The Portal. And I met him through Instagram. So he's known as the country clairvoyant. So you guys should follow him because, man, his shit is funny. It's real and it's funny. So anyways, we got to talking and he introduced me to Pete, and Pete and I have had some conversations, and I follow Pete on Instagram as well. So you guys should also. And Pete has been kind enough to share with us today his gifts and talents, and we get to experience it later. So I'm really grateful and excited. And of course, the whole reason for this event anyways is to connect with other like-minded people who are having new experiences, because they're coming into this consciousness and awareness that, you know, it can be rather scary at times if we don't know what it's like. And then there are some of us who have already been in this awareness and are still growing. Like me, I'm also having an awakening. So I've recently learned what my values are, and it's connection to the divine and connection to other people, as well as freedom and flow. But I was like, how can I live my value system and also be there to support other people? And this is what kind of came up. So I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. We'll have a chance to share any experiences that we have, or if we want to say anything here, you have an opportunity to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged. And hopefully the intent is not just connection, but maybe you guys will get some sort of healing out of this as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so grateful to have each and every one of you here. I'm just full of gratitude. I'm trying not to cry. I'm a big old crybaby. So if I cry, I cry. That's just the way it is. So let me just do a quick little walkthrough for y'all so you know how today's going to be. Let me just make sure everybody is muted. DJ Ames, I'm going to ask you to mute. Please don't be offended. And let's see. Everybody else. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I just gave a quick little brief run through, right, about why I'm doing this event. In just a moment, I'm going to share with you the message that I channeled from Spirit this morning, and it's for everybody. So everybody who's here presently now, or if you're watching this on YouTube in the future. And after that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into an energy shifting session. Which I will lead. I use brain and heart coherency for that. So I'm going to do my best to get your heart waves, so the electricity of your heart and the electricity in your brain, to be on the same level and synchronized. Because when we use our brain, our ego, and our heart, our soul, that's when we can really manifest and create the reality that we're here for and that we want. So after that, we're going to take a quick little potty break, and then we're going to have Pete on deck. And Pete is a shaman and a medium. And what he's going to do, oh my God, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to experience this, Pete. I'm like really giddy and eager. Pete, as a shaman, does journeying using rattles. And what else do you use, Pete?
The drums.
I think today he's just going to help us out with rattling, but he's going to connect us to the energy of goddess Khali. And he'll talk more about that. I'm going to leave that to him. I don't want to take his glory away from him, but I'm really excited. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back together. We'll share any experiences, or we're both here to answer any questions that you guys might have, and then we'll end for today. So that's pretty much how it's going to go. All right, you guys, I'm one of these people where it's like, I want you guys to know so you feel comfortable and safe and you kind of know what's happening. So there you go. So we're going to start off now. You know what? I feel like we need to kind of collect ourselves, or at least I do. I feel like I need to collect myself. So if we could just really quickly just close our eyes for just a moment, and we're going to take 5 deep belly breaths together. So just really breathe into your belly and expand that belly. And when you exhale, really release from the belly. So we'll do 5 together. So we'll go ahead and we'll start now, and we'll inhale. And when you're ready, slowly exhale. We'll inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. Last one. And then exhale. Oh, that was so much better. Thank you guys. So much better. So much better. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off. This was a message that I channeled this morning. There's a few parts here when I reread it, I was like, oh my gosh, this can be confusing. So when I'm going to emphasize, because at some point Spirit is talking about the you in us that is our soul, and then the you in us that's not our soul. So in other words, like the non-physical part of us and the physical part of us. So when they're talking about you, the non-physical part of us, I'm just going to emphasize that so you understand when I'm talking about you, your physical you, and then your non-physical you. And I'm going to go slow with that because I don't want it to get confusing. So I was like, thanks, Spirit, this is great. But it's actually a really cool message. So here we go. You are loved. You are loved so much and so often that you ignore us. We know that you don't ignore with intent, but in disbelief, of your own power. If you only knew what you were capable of, you could create worlds. If you only felt your power, you would destroy despair. We don't fault you for knowing your power. We judge you not. We're here to remind you of your power. We knock you around when you're floating around without deliberation. So often, you don't make deliberate moves. More times than not, that is the case. We want you to know that deliberate choices for you exist and are options, and will help you identify your power. With deliberate intention, you can and you will share your gifts with the world. What does it mean to be deliberate, you may ask yourself? It is with cause, with laser focus intention. It is with action, not action as in activity, action as in the next step phases of leading to your desires. Deliberate means with meaning for you. Base it on your desires. We don't do this for you. We guide you into situations so that your responses finesse into deliberate knowings. You bobbing around allows you to refine your needs and wants, and you participate in them thinking it's bad or good, which is understandable, of course, with human ego. We help you improve your knowings as a way of assisting you into the remembrance and truth of your soul, who you are, not who you are. You may have heard this discernment as inner being or higher self or godlike self. That is the you we are talking about. Understanding the importance of deliberate choices are as powerful as a human can be. When you are deliberate, you are able to course correct sooner, and your journey is easier. It's in the knowing you inside which helps in the deliberate activity. In this dimension of reality, it's difficult for humans to make deliberate choices because of the meanings put on circumstances, because of the concept of time. Humans think there's never enough time, when in actual vibrational reality, what there is space between people and places and things, which gives the illusion of time. It's just the space recognition that seems like time exists. This is understandable regarding human understanding. You see it as what I want is over there, so it takes me time to go over there to get it. Being deliberate in choices can help close that gap between spaces. The you in you knows this and knows how to direct you to close that space, and that you works with us. And when you follow you, the alignment between both helps you get closer and lessens the space gap. In order for that to happen, you have to be deliberate in choosing to listen to you, allowing you to lead. And oftentimes, most of the times, you are leading and not letting you be in front. Most humans learn to do this through crisis, and it's done that way because then you listen to you. You will always make requests from us, and we hear your every word and your every vibration. We give you what is asked for. So when you are not deliberate in your asking, that is what your answer is, a not deliberate answer. Being deliberate is a blessing bestowed upon both of yous, because you exercise your free will, which is given to you as a gift when you humans are born into physical reality. In your evolution, you are forming deliberate views, and therefore take more and more deliberate actions. What humans forget is that they have divinity within them, and divinity is source energy, and source energy is creative energy. Bobbing around without deliberate activity will just keep the bobbing happening until more and more deliberate choices are made. There is no judgment from us. We just let you bob around until you connect with you. And then through deliberate choice, paths are changed. We just help in that remembrance process through guidance and often crisis to help define, refine, and finesse you so that you finally listen to you. And it happens. It always happens. The more deliberate you are in your choices and listen to you, the more experiences you have to share your gift with this world, which is what your purpose is. That was rather interesting. And it got a little confusing there with the you and the you. But I don't know what you guys got out of it. You guys got out of it. But when I channeled that message, it really made me understand that I have a lot more control over the choices that I make in my life than I think. Because if I just bob around, I let life happen to me. Now, that's not such a bad thing, but it's almost like I'm not working with myself, my non-physical self. So when my physical self and my non-physical self work together and make deliberate choices, I have more control. And then when I get off track, I can just course correct a lot easier. So that's what I got out of it. I don't know, what you guys got out of it, but hopefully, you guys got something out of it. Does anybody want to share what they thought or what they felt, or what they received? You can just raise your human hand if yes. It's not something you have to do, by the way. But if it's something that you want to share or you had an insight about, please feel free to. And if it's a no, that's fine. And okay. Perfect. So we're going to move on now. Everybody's cool with moving on into some energy shifting. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So for this, Pete, do you mind if I mute you for this?
Sure.
And then I'll make sure to unmute you. Don't you worry. You're my co-pilot here. I need you. So stand by. Okay. So I don't know how many of you guys have ever seen me do or lead any type of energy shifting session, but I work with the heart and the brain, and I'll often, because I channel, I have no idea what's going to come out. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but there are things that I do ask you to do because this is a participation, like Spirit was saying, deliberate, right? So when we're making deliberate choices, we're participating. So we're not passive, we're active. So this is a very active kind of thing, not physically active where you're jumping around and, running in place, but just more of a participatory. So there are things that I am going to ask you to do. If by any chance or for any reason you do not feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. Seriously, just don't do it. Because if it doesn't fit right with you, it's not going to sit right with you. So only do and take what does sit right with you, and then toss what doesn't. It's literally that simple. We all should be living our life like that anyways, right? But stay in and hang in there, because something will come up, or I will say something that you do feel comfortable with doing and participating again. So don't check out. Again, this is a participation. It's an active participation. And what would be really interesting as a little experiment for yourself is just kind of feel, how is it that you feel before, and then how is it that you feel afterwards? And also just sort of take note about what insights that you might have. And we might have these insights through through different senses. So maybe we'll hear information that shows up as a thought in our mind. Maybe we'll feel information. Maybe we'll see things like a vision, right? Maybe we'll just know things. Maybe we'll smell things. Maybe we'll taste things. That's how we are reading the energy. That's how we are sensing these frequencies. And that's the data, how we are perceiving it. So, it's almost like that. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have heard it. It's so cliche. If a tree falls in a forest, do you hear it? Right? Have you guys heard that one before? So the question is do you hear it? Well, not unless you are receiving the impulses in an auditory way, then you are hearing it. Otherwise, it's just vibrations and frequencies that's happening, right? So you could also be seeing it, and that's how you're interpreting the information, right? Through the brain, that's the impulse through those frequencies. So no, you may not hear it if you're not there to receive the information in that way. So we all receive information differently, and sometimes we receive it several different ways. So however you receive this energy shift, just know that it's perfect, it's okay. There's no right way, there's no wrong way, okay? You will each have individual experiences. So that's all, that's how I really want to set you guys up. There's nothing wrong. And you are your own beautiful receiver of frequencies. So we're just tuning you like a radio to various frequencies. All right. So I thank you for participating in this little mini experiment. And then afterwards, we'll do a little check-in just to see what your experiences were, if you had any. And if you don't, that's okay too. Okay. So whatever you do, just don't put pressure on yourself, because there's no right or wrong way to experience this. All right. So it would be ideal if you're sitting and not laying down. You can put your head back. That's not a problem. But just be sitting, because that's what keeps us in this active mode instead of passive mode. When we're doing any kind of meditation, you can totally and completely lay down. That'll put you in a more passive mode, and you could easily fall asleep, which is not a problem. It's just not coming from a more active place, and that's what we're doing. We're participating here. So go ahead and you put your feet flat on the ground, and then your hands will be on your lap, either up or down, however you feel comfortable doing it. I will be asking you to just sort of sense the space around you in various areas. I will be asking you to tap on your heart. I don't know if you guys can see this, but tap on the heart center, which is the largest electromagnetic field of the body. That is where the healing takes place, because it transmutes frequencies. So it can take dense, heavy frequencies and transmute them into faster, lighter frequencies. And I might ask you to tap certain areas of your body. And that's just because there's some energy buildup or that needs to be cleared. So there are meridians in the body that have blocked energies that will just tap on those. I might just ask you to just put your hands on your heart, breathe into your heart, breathe into parts of your body. We'll see. We'll see what they want us to do. But that's it. So does anybody have any questions in terms of how to experience this from a logistic perspective that I can answer for you? Because I want to make sure that you guys are comfortable and feel good about participating. If you do, just raise your human hand so I can see it. Oh, you guys are like kick-ass. No one has any questions. All right, professionals here. This is awesome. All right. So feel free to assume the position now, and I'm going to participate with you guys because I like to be part of the energy too. So hopefully I won't go into so deep that I just stop talking. I promise I'm not leaving you. I'm right here. So everybody just let's go ahead and we're going to start off with two deep belly breaths. And we're going to start off with our hands on our heart, on the heart center. All right. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to inhale. And then when you're ready at your own pace, slowly exhale. And we're going to go ahead and inhale again. And slowly exhale. And just make sure that you're comfortable. So if you have to move your shoulders or your neck, please do so. Just be aware and conscious of the comfort that you can do that. We don't want to have anybody injured. So just really light, loose movements in the neck and the shoulder area. Know your body, so only do what you can do. Now, sitting there with your hands on your heart, just want you to notice and sense just the immediate space around your body, your physical body. So just either sense it or feel into it. You can even merely think about it, just that space around your body. And just really find a comfortable breathing pattern for yourself. So, if you hear me deep breathing, that's okay. If you need to deep breathe, take deep breaths, that's okay too. Just stay comfortable and cozy with your body. And just noticing the space around you. And you may very well, some of you, all of you, or none of you, it really just depends on you each individually. Some of you may have thoughts that are just running around in your head. That's okay. Sort of collect them in the center of your forehead. So you don't have to solve any of those thoughts right now. You could just observe them and notice that they're there. Collect them in the center of your forehead. Some thoughts may be heavier than others. It's okay, it doesn't matter. We're just observing them, we're witnessing them, we're allowing them to take up space in the middle of our forehead. Now, as you do that, you might feel a physical sensation in your head. That's okay if you do. And maybe you don't. That's also okay. That's just the energy of those thoughts collecting. So at the count of 3, what we're going to do is we're going to drop, like an elevator going down. We're going to drop those thoughts that we've collected. We're going to drop them into the heart center. Beginning to count now. 1, 2, and 3. Dropping them into the heart. And just allowing them to fall into the heart. Go ahead and take a really deep breath and then exhale. And it's okay if there's any residual thoughts still in your head, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop them again into the heart. At the count of 3, beginning to count. 1, 2, and 3. Dropping them down. Good. And just allowing them to sit in the heart. And now we're going to go back and notice and sense and just be aware of the space around our body. Giving ourselves permission to be in the space around our physical body, noticing it, feeling it, being aware of it, sensing it. So now we're going to sort of expand on the sensing and the awareness of the space around us to the space between where our physical body is and the walls in the room that we're in. So just sense your physical body in the space of the entire room that your physical body is in. And just sense that space. Feel into that space. And while you're in that space, just notice if there is any part of your body that may be noticeable. There may be a part of your body that's asking for attention. So while sensing the space that your physical body is in, you can now breathe into that part of your body that is asking for attention. Breathe in and out of that part of your body. Being aware of the space around you. And just noticing and giving attention to that part of your body. And maybe even asking that part of your body why it wants you to acknowledge it. So just see what it wants and just listen to what it has to say. Just observing its response. And just allowing yourself to give yourself permission to feel into this. Just feel into it. That's all you have to do. Take a really deep breath and then exhale when you're ready. And just take a moment now to thank that part of your body for speaking to you, if it's shared any information with you. And moving forward, you can connect and build a relationship with that part of your body. As you're sitting there, acknowledging, sensing, feeling the space around you. And now we're gonna expand that space even further. We're going to sense, feel, and be aware of the space, not only around the room that we're in, but the space in the entire property or building that you're in. So expand that awareness of the space around your physical body to the property or the building that you're in. And in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to remove one of your hands from your heart center. And with the remaining hand, to tap on that heart center. I'll count to 3 so you know when to do that. Beginning to count now, 1, 2, and 3. So just tap on that heart center of yours as we're now igniting the electromagnetic field of our heart. And breathing into the dynamic, wonderful, healing part of ourselves. And you don't have to tap hard. Just keep tapping. Waking up that electromagnetic center and the field of ours, allowing us to get into our own personal truths, connecting to our soul. And let's take a really deep, deep breath and breathe into our heart. I know we're using our lungs to actually breathe, but let's breathe into the center of our heart. And inhale. And now release from the heart through the exhale. And as we are tapping on our heart, you can repeat silently to yourself or simply feel into these words that I say. Repeating after me silently or feeling into these words. Even though there is a lot going on in my life, I deeply and completely love and accept myself in this moment. Keep tapping. And repeat after me silently or simply feel into these words. Even though I can't control what is going on in my life around me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself right now. And keep tapping and notice if there's any part of your body that is now asking to be acknowledged yet again. And if there is, just breathe deeply into that part of your body while tapping on your heart center. Acknowledging that part of your body and seeing if it has anything that it wants to share with you. Maybe there's something it wants to reveal to you. So just keep tapping and feeling into that part of your body. And now repeat after me silently or simply feel into these words. I am learning how to lean into uncertainty. And even though I can't predict the outcomes of what might happen, I deeply and completely love and accept myself in this very moment. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, slowly exhale. And you can repeat after me silently or feel into these words. I really am doing my best. I really am learning how to live in uncertainty. And even though at times it's difficult, I really am doing my best. I really am getting creative. When I'm leaning into this uncertainty. And it's okay if I'm not doing it perfectly. I really am doing my best. And it's okay that I'm not perfect. And I am noticing that there are good moments in a lot of uncertainty that I experience. And that's because in those wonderful good moments, I'm doing the best that I can. And I'm realizing that when I'm doing the best that I can, it really feels good. And in those moments of feeling good, I really feel connected to myself. And I can really see clearly just how lucky and blessed I really am. It feels really good to be doing the best that I can. And as I feel how good that feels, I also begin to notice how proud I am of myself. For having those moments of feeling good. And what it shows me is that I can feel good in spite of uncertainty. I love knowing that. I love knowing and feeling how good it feels when I can just go with the flow, even though there are uncertain times. It makes me realize that wherever I am is just fine. Wherever I am in my life is okay. Where I am is where I am, and where I am is okay. And that feels good. Take a deep breath and exhale. And I can stop being so hard on myself. Because just around the corner can be a really good feeling moment. And in that moment, I know that where I am is where I am, and where I am is okay. And so I don't have to control everything. Because those outcomes and results are going to happen anyways. And even and in spite of that uncertainty, I can deeply and completely love and accept myself in that very moment. So put both of your hands on your heart now and take 3 deep breaths into your heart and release. And just sit in whatever you're sensing and whatever you're feeling for just a moment. And you can even ask yourself, what is it that I need to know right now to help me move forward in my next step? And your heart will give you an answer. And at the count of 3, we're just going to cross our arms over our chest, and we'll place each hand on the opposite shoulder. And we'll just gently and easily start tapping our shoulders. So at the count of 3, we'll cross our arms and tap our shoulders with the opposite hand. 1, 2, and 3. And just gently and easily start tapping. Taking a deep breath. And as we're tapping, we're connecting back into our physical bodies. So we're coming back into ourselves, becoming more and more aware of our surroundings. Our eyes might even start to flutter open. As we're coming back into our bodies, and we can start tapping all over our head and shoulders now and our chest as we're coming back into our bodies, eyes open. Coming back into our physical reality. Pete, I'm going to unmute you now. I'm going to ask you to unmute. There we go. And welcome back, everyone. Is there anybody that would like to share their experience or what they might have heard or learned, or any insights? All right, Eden, go ahead. You can unmute yourself now. Hi, Eden.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Now I'm great. So, Aiden, thank you for sharing. What would you like to share?
Well, I wanted to share in the beginning, but then I hesitated And
Okay.
then someone said, hey, you need to listen and be more deliberate.
Oh,
And
who was
so,
that?
I don't know, but I mean, maybe it was a spirit guide, I don't know. But
Sure.
there were some like people who stepped forward, but they were generally very respectful. They were like, oh, okay, this is your time. And there was a time in the middle, there were like two spots in the middle that you were talking about last time I was here. You were
Mm-hmm.
talking about like extra empathic ability. It
Okay.
was stronger today.
Okay, good.
I felt like tears.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like someone's grandparents were like, come on, bring it in. And
Nice.
and there was, I mean, the one thing I like specifically remember was there was like a young male and he had like his hat backwards. It was like a turquoise, like seafoam green color, and that was. But generally, and then I kept saying like scenes of nature, like a bunch of trees on two sides, and there was like a river, and maybe like people were like rowing or kayaking in the river, and I felt like I was like at a university somewhere where there were like big trees like on either side of a walkway, and the walkway was like a red clay brick.
Wow.
Just like all the way to a building that was like white pillars.
Yeah.
So, and then like I feel good now. Like I feel like I needed that release
Mm-hmm.
of energy.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Yeah.
energy that I was feeling was like around me,
Yeah.
and I just needed that,
Yeah. Well,
but you gotta feel it. So
what we did with our physical bodies was there is built up energy that we experience from our thoughts, right? So then we have these thoughts that are going out, right? And then the heart, when we activate the heart, we magnetize to us, which is the torus field, right? So we're designing whatever it is we're designing or whatever we're putting out. This is our broadcasting signal. So if it's going to be anxiousness or frustration or whatever, we have to transmute that with our heart, right? So that we can then we can bring in the healing. So that's what we were activating, was the brain and the heart coherency, so we can work together. And not only that, what do? We have to bridge it with our throat so that we can speak, right? So we can get that communication somehow, right? So we're bridging this. So, the messages that you got, whatever they were, they were very unique to you because each of us have our own, way of communicating. So if that's something that, I mean, it sounds like every time that you're working with me or in a group or whatever, your tuners are amplified with your mediumistic, and your psychic talents and abilities. So that's pretty cool. Don't you think that's pretty cool?
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's so
One thing
great.
about your message before about being deliberate,
Yeah.
like signing up today, I was like, oh, should I go? Should I not go?
Uh-huh.
And when I signed up, there was like I felt the presence of spirit like get
Nice.
closer.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is what I need,
Right place, right time, which is funny because my video today on YouTube was right place, right time. It was released today, and I looked at it and I was like, because I've been struggling myself with, I'm in a disagreement with a girlfriend, and there's a lot of uncertainty around that. And like, I was like, okay, in repair mode. And then when I got that, it was a message, you're in the right place at the right time. I was like, all is well. This is supposed to happen. Lean into the discomfort of uncertainty. So it sounds like same experience, like right place, right time. So thank you for sharing, Aiden. I really appreciate it. Does anybody else want to share? Hold on, let me get back to the right view so I can see. Rebecca. Okay, I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go.
Okay. So I almost didn't come today as well because I signed up at like 11:15, which is Central Time. I've been up since like 2:00 this morning with really bad lady cramps, really bad.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling very well, but I always love your meditations and I love your stuff. So that was so great helping me kind of breathe that pain out. And I feel so better now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you, Stephanie. Girl gets it.
Yeah, a lot of us get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and mute you. Yeah. Does anybody else want to share? You don't have to, but you're more than welcome to. Okay, Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Okay, so there you go. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi. I just wanted to share that when we had our thoughts like at the center of our head and we dropped it to our hearts, last time we had soul connection, I felt a lot lighter when that happened, and I felt like easy. But this time, I actually got overwhelmed with like nausea and really hot, and I was like unsure of if I should open my eyes or what I should do. But now after all of it, I feel much better. But at the very beginning, I was like really sick to my stomach, which I was fine before I started this morning. So but are you today?
Are you still feeling sick to your stomach right now?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's the power of the heart.
Yes.
So, you know, probably what went on was that there was a lot going on energetically here. Like, and it doesn't even necessarily matter if like how there's you and you, right? So how little your physical you, it doesn't, like, it's going to put meaning to things like you wouldn't believe. So you may have a thought like, oh, the grass is green, but that could piss off you. Like maybe that grass being green triggers like some fucked up weird shit, right? And so that is like totally getting your nervous system like to protect yourself, right? So it's setting you off. So it's like going, fuck that. So you're having this like energetic buildup that's showing up in your stomach. So is it safe to assume, can I assume that it was your stomach that you were like communicating with when I was saying get in touch with your stomach? Were you able to hear or sense or get any information from your stomach?
No, I was, unfortunately I was interrupted by the kids. So I had to stop what I was doing, but.
Damn kids.
I know. There's too many of them. But no, once we finished everything, I know that I felt much lighter, but I definitely want to meditate later and listen to that.
And see, a lot of times, even if we don't get information in our knowingness, like our cerebrality, just acknowledging will disperse energy, which is what we want. We want that energy dispersed. So I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm kind of glad it was a weird experience for you too, because what it also taught you is that you can get through it. You'll survive it. Like, and you're in control. So that's great. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. I appreciate it. And mute. Does anybody else want to share? You don't have to. No, I'm not seeing hands. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take like a 2-minute potty break. Then we're going to come back and we're going to have Pete do his thing. I'm so excited. All right. So I'm just going to pause recording. So we'll be back here like in like 2 minutes. All right, you guys? Okay. Welcome back, everybody. All right. I'm just so excited. Let me unmute Pete so he can actually talk. Or you unmute. Yeah. Pete's here, you guys, and I'm turning the floor over to Pete, which means I am muting myself, and I'm really, really excited. So take it away, Sir Pete.
Hello, how's it going? Today we're gonna do a shamanic journey to the goddess Khali. Just briefly, a shamanic journey entails using sound, rattle, a drum, any repetitive beat puts your mind into an altered state, which is known as theta state, the same state as meditation. So what you want to do is kind of visualize yourself traveling up, if you want to call it heaven, the upper realm, the spirit world, and kind of just surrender. Don't have any expectations, just let yourself go. The goddess Khali is a Hindu goddess. if you're not familiar with her, she's kind of disturbing to actually look at. She's shown with a necklace of heads, holding a head, blue with a long tongue. She's meant to be intimidating, but I compare her to like Mother Nature, because she's, you know, the beauty of the ocean, as well as like the ferocity of the thunderstorms and hurricanes and tornadoes. She's known as the destroyer of self, and that's why she's shown with cutting the heads off, because the head symbolizes the self. So it kind of destroys the image you have of yourself to create a new image. So I'm gonna rattle, and we're gonna have the intention of working with the goddess Khali. I guess I should ask if there's any questions. I don't even know I'm not very good with the computer too, so I don't know if anyone has any questions.
I'll help you out, Peter, in case anybody has. Does anybody have any questions? So I have a question, because I've never done this before. So just to make sure that I'm understanding, we're all going to be like having the intention. Is it like our spirit, our breath? What exactly are we kind of putting up?
I try to keep my hands off of that, because I just want you to have your authentic experience.
Okay.
You know, you just really set the intention of kind of, I like the symbol of going up, because most people visualize heaven up.
Right. Okay.
And, you know, you're kind of, your chakras go up. So it's like the crown is the closest to heaven. So it's like you're visualizing yourself going up with the intention of connecting to Khali. And if you're not familiar with Khali, you can kind of use the Divine Mother symbol, or, you know, a divine feminine energy. So you kind of visualize that. What I was going to say is you also can have the intention of ridding yourself of anything that doesn't serve you anymore, because that's who she is. She is the destroyer. So, you know, if there's something you feel like isn't really serving you, but you really can't release it yet, you know, you could offer that up.
Do we have to sit in a certain position?
No, you could do whatever feels comfortable. You know, the more relaxed, the better. Like I said, surrender.
Okay.
And, you know, whatever comes up, comes up. You may have visual experiences. You may just feel relaxed. With Khali, people tend to feel emotional, because emotions come up and they have to get worked out.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it.
Okay, so if we do feel emotion, feel into the emotions.
Yeah, just let it go.
So we just let it go. Okay.
Yeah, usually people tend to feel like a upward movement of emotion. So if it's coming up, just let it come up. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Thanks, Pip. That was a great question, by the way. Any other questions that I can field for y'all? No? All is well? All right. Okay, I'm going back to mute world, you guys. I'll see you on the flip side.
So, yeah. All right. So as a collective, I want to take a deep breath. So on 1, 2, 3, we're going to take a deep breath, and then I'm going to start rattling with the intention of connecting to Khali. All right. So 1, 2, 3. Just take your time. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel yourself in your body. Take another deep, clearing breath. Check in with yourself. See what came up for you. I'll just share my experience. She felt more graceful and nurturing to me this time around. I felt her kind of working with our right side of our body, the right side of my face, my shoulder.
I muted you accidentally.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. So I felt her kind of working with the heart and the abdomen and kind of working it out. And we went a little longer than I wanted to, but I felt like she was still working, and I kind of felt like a spiral, and the energy kind of spiral from your heart, out your throat, up your head, kind of clear out. Oh, what did I do?
No, I unmuted everybody because in case anybody wanted to share what their experience was. You didn't do anything wrong. Keep going.
Yeah, and I really felt more energetic work taking place. I didn't really get any messages necessarily, but I felt her kind of working, clearing some heart and fear energy kind of out. And that's it.
Does anybody want to share their experience? Because if not, I'll start. Nicole, do you want to go ahead, unmute yourself? Yeah.
Never done anything like this, so it was completely new to me. I kept telling myself to just surrender, but I felt like I was going to vomit. I felt a whole bunch of, I was trying to, have my energy go up. I felt nauseous. I was hot. And I honestly thought I was going to vomit. So I hope that's all the bad out. I kept saying, out with the bad, only keep the good out. But I honestly felt sick.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of fear and I have a lot of anxiety, and I tried to release. So I don't feel bad anymore. That's a good thing. But it was uncomfortable, and I'm still warm. My whole body, I feel like I could have a little bit of schwitzing going on.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Intense, maybe I should have gave a deeper warning. It depends on what you're willing to surrender is how much you'll let go.
I also had the stomach thing going on, and it was like tight. And I was like, you can let go. Like I kept saying to myself, just let go. And then finally at one point it went, and I was like, thank you. And then my head started hurting, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, all right, just let it go. And then the head I guess it just did what it wanted to do, or I didn't pay attention to it. And then my stomach started again. And I'm like, and I also got a hot flash, Nicole. I also did. And then I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but just let it happen. And then it like broke out again. So for me, it was like this contract, expand. And then at the very beginning, it was really interesting because I kept having these visions, and I'm not a very vision-y kind of girl. I feel more than I see. But I saw like the genie coming out of the bottle from like Aladdin. And then I saw that like I was on the Nile River. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like how I knew it was the Nile River, I don't know. But there were like the reeds and all that. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then towards the end, I started to get really angry, like really angry. And then like what came up for me was like, I'm tired of always having to watch what I say. Like it's almost like I should just be able to say what I want to say, and if I piss somebody off, we should be able to talk about it and like work it through. Like I'm tired of trying to be perfect. I'm tired of like trying to make other people feel good and comfortable without me like kind of, I don't want to say, maybe it's not speaking my truth. Maybe I'm just so worried about what they're going to think, and the whole rejection thing and all of that. And it's like, why can't I just say what I want to say, and then if we need to talk it out, like I'm big on repair, so it's like, let's just fucking talk shit out. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna piss off people, but it's like I'm not in my own skin to piss off people. So many people don't care, and I care. And so that was very interesting that they came up. I started getting really mad. I think I'm okay now though. Let's see, there's some questions here. There's some things. Aiden said judgment is scary. Aiden, what do you mean by that? Where are you? Unmute yourself.
Well, I just mean that with judgment, as far as everything spiritual, sometimes I find myself like holding back and like not talking to people about it because I feel like they're gonna think I'm weird,
Yeah, I hear you. So it's like, it's still that same thing like I was talking about. What are they gonna say, and then how are they gonna react, and then are they gonna not want to talk to me, or the rejection thing, it sounds like too. Am I gonna get
sorry to interrupt
No, go ahead.
But just one thing that, like, when I was starting to do this work, like when I read a book and they suggested like doing a meditation and like releasing out to the universe that you want to do this work. And one thing that I remember from that meditation is I remember like saying, I don't want to make this an ego thing. I don't want to be like whatever all-powerful medium or whatever. I want to help people. And I remember seeing this lady, and she was like on a street corner or something, and she was crying. And I remember like wondering like, why was she crying and everything. And I just knew that she had lost someone, and like I needed to help her.
Yeah.
And that I didn't like, haters gonna hate, but if you really want that like person to receive healing, you gotta help.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
So that was it.
There you go. Well, you're muted again.
I just unmuted.
Oh, you're muting
myself.
yourself. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So sorry. Okay. Thanks, Hayden. Oh boy. Hold on. Kathleen said something. She said she had very dark and violent visions. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's saying Khali did her work. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how, that was intense for me. Was it intense for any of you guys?
Well, this is Deborah. You can't see me.
Hi, Deborah.
It says
Hi.
DJ Ames, but
hi,
anyway.
Deborah.
Hello. What I felt basically, and this was the first time I've come to this venue. I will be back because I'm all into that. But anyway, what I felt was, I felt like I was going up on an elevator for the longest time, like I was just being pulled up on an elevator for like halfway through. And then during the second half, I felt it come down in reverse, and I could feel my eyelids fluttering. And I was thinking, well, am I getting some kind of download or something? Because I could feel all this like raining on my head, and my eyelids were fluttering. Even though I was awake, it was like I was dreaming or something for about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. And so I don't know what the download was. Maybe I'll discover what it is later, but that's what I felt with that experience.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Anybody else want to share? Karen.
I just wanted to say that I'd worked with Khali before, but she seemed less fierce to me today. And unlike you guys, I got chilled to the bone. I laid down and I felt like I was freezing from my backside up. I'm still thawing out. I got so bone marrow cold. But I saw her face. I had the vision of her face, and her smile was kind of scary, but it wasn't scary to me today. I don't know what that means, but it just wasn't scary. I felt like she was a little kinder persona than I had experienced before.
Can I ask you a question, Karen?
Yes.
So I've never worked with Khali before. This was like my first time. So when you're saying that she was kinder this time, I mean, obviously to me that says you've worked with her before, but like when you first started working with her, was she like super intense? Like how does that make any sense? Like, cause she was kinder now. So I'm like, uh-oh.
Well,
like it's gonna get harder with me if I work with her.
Okay, so I did a one-on-one journey with Pete, and if you do that, then he sees which guides want to work with you.
Wow.
And one of the Khali came up, and she wanted to work with me in that journey. And so I experienced her in a journey before. I've also done the journeys that he has online, on Instagram. So yeah, I had already done a karmic clearing meditation this morning, and so maybe I just didn't have a ton of shit for her to work with. But when I did the one previously with Pete, you know, I felt there was a lot more mess in there. It was messy, and I cried, and I actually cried when you were doing your thing earlier, but Khali did not make me cry today, and I just felt
Khali did not make me cry today. That just sounds hilarious.
like she didn't rampage through my being like in the previous one. So and I don't know what the cold was about.
So what you're saying is we should all get a journey. We should all do a journey with Pete. Is what you're saying.
Yes. I said that intentionally because I like the hell out of Pete, and I want everybody needs to go do a journey with him. They're fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, Rebecca, thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. My bad. You're
good. So I was cold too, Karen. I had the same kind of coldness, and I had kind of just all my fears starting to come up, but not in a bad way. They were all kind of coming up, being presented, and like, see, these are okay. Everything's okay. You've been through this. This is okay. Everything's okay. And it was kind of like, yeah, okay, this is okay. Everything's okay. And then at the very end, I just got this really big burst of love.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. I hear you and Karen talk about Khali, and I just, was just introduced to her right now. And I'm like, I think I'm kind of inspired by her right now, even though it was like uncomfortable, but I'm like, I wonder if she's now calling to me. I'm like, interesting. Very interesting. Thank you. Does anybody else want to share anything or no? Pete, is there anything that you want to share or anything you want to say before we sign off here?
Well, just she might continue to work with you through the day or night. You may feel energy working with you just because she connected with you today. If you did feel a clearing, you actually may feel physically sore, because sometimes when you release energy, you feel it in your body. So, take care of yourself, ground yourself, eat grounding foods, and that's it.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Pete. I personally appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody here appreciates that. And like, that was my first experience. I've done a journey before, but it was a breathing journey, completely different. So now I'm like, ooh, I want to do this. Like, there's something about doing it in a group because energy is amplified. So I do love that. And I want to do it individual too, because that's where like that's where the laser focused deliberateness, right, would come in, which is really awesome. So thank you so much, Pete. I really, really appreciate you coming and sharing with us and introducing me to Khali and, you know, some of us as well. And you guys, also coming up, I interviewed Pete for the Portal, which is my podcast. So that'll be coming up soon too in the next few months. So you guys will be able to see Pete again. And if anybody wants to have a session with Pete, how do they get in touch with you?
The easiest way is Instagram, Peaceful Pathways 33, or my website, peacefulpathways.net. It's the two easiest ways.
Cool. Well, thank you. And I just really want to thank all of you guys for being here today, taking the time out of a busy Sunday to connect with each other, connect with Khali, Mama Pajama. Some of us had physical manifestations with that too. So thank you guys all for coming and showing up. And yeah, the next one is, I think, November 11th, and we're going to be having a sound bath. So, you know, the Instagram, newsletter, all the things, you'll be able to find out how to participate in that. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you coming. It was so nice to meet all the new people I haven't met before, and all my regulars. It's so nice to see you too. So welcome back and keep coming, and thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. Bye.
Oh, it's so great to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Can I ask you for a favor, if you don't mind? Can you write down, "I feel terrific today" in the comment section below? Help me engage with you. I want to connect with you. I want to authentically know how you're doing. And also, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer for you in a video, I would love to do that for you. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making. And I will see ya on the flip side.